So they're saying basically we're moving out of minimum and we're moving into another period now. We're going to see more activity, and it's estimated again that's going to peak between 2012 and 2013. Here we have another picture of the solar flare of the gamma blast. And if you go to the next one, Yellowstone hit by swarm of earthquakes. So Yellowstone is very active at this time. So is Argentina. So are some other places on the planet as well. China just had another earthquake. And a couple weeks ago, we saw a 6.5, I believe, in California that was felt as far away as Oregon. Now, this is a picture of the sunspot. Sunspot 10 foot, 1040. Kind of like your taxes. That little square you see in the middle lower. Now, this is quite the anomaly. This is a coincidence, and I'm not saying I know what's happening. I'm simply presenting strange information. Go back one slide, and let's take a closer look at it to where we were. And if you see that smaller box there, that's actually what the Caribbean looks like. That's Haiti right there. And if you look above it, well, that's the solar flare. And so someone pointed this out on the web. There's a strange coincidence happening here with it being shaped like the Caribbean. If you go to the next slide. And this is a closer look at the actual sunspot. If you go to the next slide, let's take a look at them. Again, back to the Caribbean. And then in the next slide, you have the Caribbean, map of the Caribbean, again, map of Haiti. And if you go to the next one, here is another comparison between the sunspot and where Haiti is. And that red dot on the upper slide is Port-au-Prince. Now, it is the most populated city in Haiti. Haiti, by the way, officially was not controlled by the U.S. prior to this. A very poor country, a lot of major problems there with human trafficking and whatnot. However, what you're about to see in the intervention here with Haiti is another military base being established. There's a lot of researchers right now taking a look at what's taking place. More troops, more guns, more equipment is rolling into town as opposed to food and water, although you're getting a different version of reality from the mainstream media that wants your money. We saw Bush the other day saying, don't give me aid, don't give us aid, give us your cash. What this is going to do, you know what this is going to do to the Haitian economy. After they take that money from the IMF and World Bank, it's a dance with the devil. But what are they supposed to do? Exactly. What else are they supposed to do? The question is, what caused this earthquake? Is it something natural? Is it, the result of the sun moving out of its minimum cycle and moving into solar maxima? We're going to see more stuff like this in the future. It's hard to say with things like HAARP in existence. Now, I don't have the slides with you today, but if you look at the amount of electrical energy used by HAARP in the days prior and during the earthquake and after, you see most of the activity that HAARP is utilizing during the days where the earthquakes were taking place. Yes, it was more than just one day. There were multiple earthquakes taking place and aftershocks. In fact, there was just one the other day. And so this is just some heavy, heavy stuff. We have to use a lot of discernment at this time to understand why these things are taking place. We have to separate fact from fiction. Yes, HAARP is a reality, but also I believe there's a lot of natural changes coming to the planet as well. So we have to learn to think for ourselves. And with that, let's go to the first phone call, and we'll continue with some of the other information.
Alex, this is Phil Jefferson. I'm a huge fan of your show. Watched it for a long time.
Hi, Phil.
Some of my questions are, obviously the first thing to do is to rebuild Haiti. That isn't going to happen right away. Even seeing Bill Clinton saying, boy, they can just go back to where they were, which means like go back to business as usual, which is a video clip that I saw. Maybe you didn't see it. So you kind of wonder what's going to happen. There are amputees, people that cannot leave Haiti. The numbers are staggering. So basically it becomes a situation where you can't leave Haiti, but you have to deal with what's there. What is positive? Could anybody actually come in there and rebuild, in terms of appropriate technology?
Well, the intentions of the U.S. for one thing aren't good at all. And if you look at geographically where this is located, it's not too far away from Cuba. Take a look at what's happening militarily, geopolitically right now with Russia and China, the United States, and some of the bases that are being established. Russia and Cuba, their alliances are growing. I know some people believe that they're the good guy in this good guy, bad cop scenario U.S. playing the bad cop. I don't believe that. I believe there's criminals all over the planet controlling populations like the people controlling Russia and China. But Russia rather, is buddying up more and more to Venezuela and Cuba, and they're looking at establishing some sort of a base there in Cuba, although they deny that's going to take place in Venezuela. But we're starting to see this stuff happening, and it would make sense for the United States to want to control Haiti, to be there geographically, and I don't think they're going to leave after all this is said and done. And the last thing I want to point out, and go back to you real quick, is that we are also seeing a similar pattern to what happened with Hurricane Katrina. Not providing aid for a couple of days, so desperation really sets in. So people
I agree with you. I agree with you, and you expect your callers to be extremely educated, right? So I'm going to step up to the plate. You're looking at something like the shock doctrine by Naomi, what's her name? Which I'm sure you've read or read.
I'm familiar with it, and
yeah. Okay. So the problem with Haiti is there is no real advantage for the U.S. to control Haiti, but they will control it nonetheless, and they have controlled it in the past. If you look back in U.S. history, and
they've been manipulating Haiti for a long time.
Right,
it's true,
right.
and there's
so
going to be a lot of info coming out
Alex,
now.
Let me talk to you. You need listeners, right? Okay.
Well, hang on, sir. Excuse me. This is the second to last live show. I'm glad that you appreciate talking about some of the stuff. But you know what? There's some other things going on beyond just with Haiti and whatnot. You're not really going to be able to experience this very much. I'm glad you like the show, but enjoy it while you can, because it's fading out.
Is there anything positive like Findorn or the hippies or anything that you have to report?
I'm listening. Go ahead and make your point. I think you just
want to...
All right,
let me go back to my point on Haiti, okay?
Well, I'm letting you make your point, but now you're getting argumentative. There's things about me you don't like, but that's tough. I've done my job and tried to do the best job I can the last 5 years, providing stuff the mainstream doesn't want to talk about. That doesn't mean we're going to come to an agreement on everything, but you have the floor to make your point about Haiti. You don't have to be rude about it, however.
Okay, my point about Haiti is these people are extremely beautiful. I've been to Haiti. It was like 10, 20 years ago. So I've actually been in the country, and you're going to have people that are crippled, that are confused, and what they're going to get is extremely confusing policy from the U.S. Do you see anything policy besides plane after plane or
You're asking me if I see anything positive about this intervention in Haiti.
Yeah.
And
that's up to you.
I have a hard time. What is your thought on 9/11?
My thought is you've done a great job of covering it, but even people like the New York Times or Matt Taibbi cannot see your whole conspiracy point of view. So I'm open to any kind of point of view on that. Why are you going to 9/11? Out of my question.
It's not about my perspective. When you look at what this government has been involved in terms of its relationship to the third world for a long time, and I think you know about some of these things,
I know about all those
things. It causes you to question the intentions of your government when they're involved in so many different wars and rebuilding efforts, which in reality are sending more countries into a greater level of debt. I think if you're a phone call, we're going to allow other people to share their perspectives on the situation, not only in Haiti, but the situation here in Portland, with not a whole lot of groups getting prepared for the things that are already here, the level of apathy. I'm talking to more and more people throughout the city that feel the way I do, but there's not a lot of action to back that feeling. And so we have to override that feeling of hopelessness, feeling that we can't do anything other than vote another puppet. And you look at these people with the Don't Tread on Me flags that are, obviously against Obama. If they're not able to look at Bush's involvement in how we got to where we are, they're going to turn around and vote for another puppet Republican in another couple of years, and we're going to be going through this again. And so until people wake up and understand what this government is really all about, we're going to keep going through this. Trying to put me on the spot.
No, I'm not trying to put you on the spot. You can choose a wrap-up point for me anywhere you want. The first time I ever voted in my life was for Obama. I don't regret it, but it did
Okay, I have something else to say to you. If you voted for Obama, you're responsible for the people that are dying right now. You are not going to escape responsibility for what you have done. We warned you that there was not something right about this guy, but you vote for him anyway because he made you feel good and he smiles a lot. He speaks well. He's a fantastic orator. He's got lots of money from Goldman Sachs. You are responsible, sir, for why some of those kids are dying right now. You didn't start the war. Obama didn't start the war. But we had so much information about him, about the funding, about the military-industrial complex, about Raytheon giving him money, General Electric giving him money. You voted for Obama. You're criticizing me. You're helping this system.